Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. This is Slasher Shake TV, where we like to talk about growth mindset and negotiation strategies. So you never have to choose between this or that. You can always say yes to this slash that. And today is what we like to call around here a self-care Saturday as a part of this stream, but not a but. And I've ultimately decided to name the stream a Progress Over Perfection Live so that whenever I do it after this challenge, that'll still be the name of what my live stream show is for this channel. But I got to stop saying the but. That's one of the things they teach you in improv. And improv is definitely needed for live streaming. But I digress. Part of the reason we are here today, I have a makeup brush that decided it was going to die on my face. So I have like makeup brush things that I cannot get off my face. Anyway, I guess I have to wash it and start all over. But I needed to get this stream out of the way because back to my point, we are on day 52 of 90 consecutive days of live streaming. And if I had an applause sound effect, I would be playing it right now because not only did I actually still show up for myself for those 52 days, but I managed to post another video today. I managed to post 2 videos this week. Now, the goal from here is to keep that same energy, because in some of the goals I had for this challenge, included growing my YouTube channel, ideally getting 4,000 watch hours, and I'm never gonna get that by live streaming only. Well, I guess it's possible, but the chances are low. I do need to engage in all of the aspects of content that YouTube has, and more on that later. But today, when I did post the video, um, I had a moment. Now, I will say that doing this challenge is definitely an act of self care. Setting goals and working towards achieving them, focusing on your progress and celebrating the milestones instead of just only the attainment. That's still an act of self care. Um, but today, when the video was premiering, I was struggling so bad because all I could look at were all the things that were wrong with it and reasons I would want to continue to edit it. And I was just like going through all the motions. And I was like, how do people do this as a full time job? Like, oh. And what was funny is the very next video that was recommended to me after my premiere finished was Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up. And if you're not familiar with Mark Manson, I'll introduce you because, um, truthfully, this article, it started as just an article in on Medium, and I will never forget when this was sent to me. My mom actually sent this to me. Wasn't expecting an article of this title sent to me by my mom, but it resonated. It's not how she speaks, but it's how I do. So it resonated. And the image was like I was sucked in because this little cute kitty was like, whatever's going on behind me, not my business, not my monkey, not my show. And this article, no doubt, sincerely helped change my life because it made me just look at things so differently by the end. And there were many times after that that I really thought about like I'm what would giving left's ass look like in this moment. And so here's one of the top highlighted quotes, because and forgive the language if you this is something that offends you. I think wait, how long did I wait? I waited long enough, I guess. I don't know. I think I was supposed to wait like the first 15 minutes or something before I curse on YouTube. There's rules to these things. But it basically points out that if you only have a limited amount of energy to give things, period. And so you want to spend your energy on the things that are most important. It doesn't mean that you don't care about anything, it just means that you care about the most important things. And you're okay with not caring about the things that aren't important to you. And maybe for other people, they don't like that, but that's on them. Okay. Um, it's like you have to not be limited by your trials because you're looking at the outcome. And so I finished when my premiere finished and that was the video that came up, I just started cracking up because I'm like, how apropos when literally since I read this article, my entire sense of personal development has been the pursuit of how do I give the appropriate amount of F's to whatever situation occurs. Um, so I realized, oh, I am giving too many right now in this moment. I have to be okay with putting it out there and it not being perfect. And I it made me think of, yeah, just the audacity of people who are full-time content creators. How do they manage that? And that led me further down the rabbit hole of that particular word, because I don't think, like, I know I've called myself and other people ambitious. I've never used that to describe someone, but certainly I think, if you are ambitious, you do also strive to be audacious. You kind of have to be. So, here's what I mean. You have to have some
Audacity.
exactly. And the definition, I had to look this up to be certain. Am I thinking about this in the right way? Because I think that's what I want to think about from now on. I want to have more audacity and uh what's the word I'm looking for? Be unapologetic about that audaciousness. The audacity, the quality or state of being audacious, such as intrepid boldness. Who doesn't want to be described as that, right? Bold or arrogant disregard for normal restraints. And I will just say for limitations that perhaps you've set on yourself or you think others have set on you or society. And an audacious act used in plural are audacities. I just want to add this to my vernacular more frequently in thinking about just, yeah, the audacity and where in life I could be more audacious. And I think putting out content of any kind and allowing someone to look at it is like really audacious. And yeah, but people do it and people have been doing it and people do it well and inspire me to do it. So I'm here and we're going to keep showing up for this challenge and being audacious. So if y'all know me and if you don't know me, I don't know if I introduced myself when I gave my intro to the channel, but my name is Alicia. Um, and I love a good quote. I love quotables and keeping them, in the back of my mind when there's a time I might want to give up or let go of something. And I thought this one by John Dewey was also very appropriate for this this particular topic that we're talking about today, talking about audacity as an act of self-care. So I'm pretty sure, and don't quote me on this, it takes audacity to be openly wrong too. But I am pretty sure that John Dewey is the creator of the Dewey Decimal System, and I'm probably aging myself by even saying that because if you're like, "What's the Dewey Decimal System?" then the audacity for you to say that to me. No, I'm kidding. Um, but he says, "Every great advance in science has issued from a new audacity of imagination." And if you think about that, how true is that, right? Like every mathematical theory, scientific theory that has later turned out to be law, like laws of physics, how chemistry actually works, etc., required the audacity of someone to think it up that this is how things work. And oh no, I know this to be fact. And you know how much I know. I'm certain of it. I can prove it. It's called, what is it? Scientific experiments literally have a formula to put receipts behind your audacity. You see what I'm saying? So I thought that was a good quote. Now, I don't think audacity, I think it just gets a bad rap because often you hear audacity and it's in a negative connotation. Um, but this quote also felt very apropos. Um, This is why I used to have those motivational live streams. I got to figure out a way because I do love a good quote that is helpful in when you need to like pull out a mantra to get you to the next step. And the fact is that the difference between a vision and a daydream is the audacity to act. Bottom line is, other people created Uber before I did because they had the audacity to do something with my idea. I'm just kidding. I didn't. I obviously did not come up with Uber. However, I used to always joke about how I had wanted my own personal driver, and I would joke about, I'll have the car come pick you up to like my friends and stuff. And then Uber came out, and it was like, did I manifest that? My own personal driver? I had the audacity, yes, to think that it was created just for me. And why not? It's not hurting anybody and it makes me feel good. Um, but yeah, when I say audacity, gets a negative connotation as I was down this rabbit hole, I found, some that were kind of funny, but also kind of true. I remember when this particular one went viral, and I don't know what happened in pop culture at the time that was making this go viral. But whatever it was at that moment, I just kept seeing this particular post. Audacity must be on sale this year everywhere. Um, this one I also thought was hilarious, and I think I might, and I think I want to you look at this one from a positive bent, right? Because when they say where y'all be purchasing y'all audacities from, I don't know where people who are that audacious are getting it from, but I'm gonna say this: if they can find a store to get it, so can we. You know what I'm saying? If they found a place to purchase their audacities, then those of us who might need to be a little more audacious can also find that same store, even if they're gatekeeping. um, but yeah, that was, I don't know where Pinterest is about to send me now, so we're gonna get out of here. Yeah, if you want to follow me on Pinterest though and join me there, it's Slasher Jake TV. I'd love to have you. As you can see, it's basically about the same things I like to talk about here, like my Wanderlust board, and I really, really, oh, got to get some travel in, and I'm going to. I am going for a quick weekend jaunt in like a couple of weeks. So hopefully I will get to, well, hopefully I post my first travel blog before then, because I went on quite a few solo trips last year that I documented, but I haven't put the story together. And I really want to do that, in just from a like a video diary perspective for myself, and I'll put it on the channel, and if people like it, great, but if not, doesn't matter. The point is I will be able to go back and see what happened during my first year of solo travel, and how that changed me. And one way it has changed me is that I am itching to travel right now. Like, I gotta get away. Hey Marlene. Oh, great. Now, when you're here, I'm going to show a few things before I pop off. Um, Today, I do have a nail appointment soon, and I broke one. So, oh, wrong one. Let's see. Oh, so I have to go get that fixed, but I'm very much looking forward to getting my nails done. Now, back to our audacity. As I was saying, am used to the phrase, or calling someone, the audacity of someone, being negative, and also generally being followed by the unmitigated gall, um, furthering further pointing out how negative it is. Yes, it's definitely a must for this self-care Saturday, Marlene. And I didn't always used to love getting my nails done. I didn't like to spend the time in the nail salon. Um, but now that I am at the place that I'm at now, the nail salon that I go to, and because I do actually look at it as an act of self-care, I prioritize it. Uh-oh, I look like I'm frozen. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Let me remove. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that was my thing too. I didn't like spending the money. I didn't like, well, I could even get, it was also the time. It was just like, oh my gosh, it's so long. But the thing that really changed it for me was ClassPass. Getting ClassPass and having a subscription made it so much like I felt had more control over the amount of money I was spending. Was able to find a place that I love to go. And now I have like a whole relationship with my nail salon where like they text me if like they're running late or if I can come earlier. Like, I love it. And so I am a huge fan of ClassPass for figuring out the best way to budget, and and regularly schedule your what do you call it? Grooming and self-care. Now, ClassPass originally started as it was like a subscription service to be able to go try different gyms and different exercise classes. But then they expanded to now also offer, where you can go to different types of nail salons, beauty salons, life coaches, all types of wellness activities. Hold on, I'll put a link in the chat. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Oh, okay. This link that I'm going to put in the chat will actually includes a discount code and will give you bonus credits. But yeah, I've been using ClassPass now for um, I guess quite a few years, because I've now been going to my nail salon for at least 2 years, and they helped me get my nails to like this healthy length and size and the shape that I want. Like, I love leaving there because I feel like they make my nails look so good that they look fake. And so that's what I'm going for. So shout out to Raw Spa Nail Bar in Philadelphia. Highly recommended. I recommend it so highly that I don't even like to tell other. Well, I do tell people, but I like to tell them one on one because you know how when you have those special places that you're like, I don't want everybody to find out about this. It might get run over by the public. Um, but yeah, I was led down this rabbit hole of having the audacity, which made me think about unmitigated gall, which is another reason why I never associated audacity with something positive or something that you would want to call someone. Um, so if you when I looked at the definition for unmitigated gall, okay, it says absolute impudence and outright effrontery. Like, you can't get no worser, can you? Complete and utter outrageous insolence. Like, that is, I can't believe the unmitigated gall of the governor. How dare he blame the victims of this tragic accident for what happened? That sounds very much like a U.S. politician, but I often can't believe the audacity and unmitigated gall of US politicians. So do you see what I mean? It doesn't necessarily have a positive connotation. But I would like to flip that and change that narrative. And so from now on, when you go somewhere and they do that little icebreaker, introduce yourself with an adjective, I'm going to be audacious Alicia and see how that works out in the conversation. Now, last thing about this rabbit hole that being audacious and having unmitigated gall led me down is this song called Unmitigated Gall. I apparently it came out in 1967, and I just want to the lyrics. This is why I love country music because it's very much like R&B, but just a different melody because these are the lyrics to Unmitigated Gall, okay? The man says, how can you have the unmitigated gall to come back now expecting me to fall right down on my knees and kiss your feet? Yeah, feet. Feet that one day went walking out on me with a fast talking slob. You hardly knew his name. Your mind is deranged. And where did you get the backbone and grit to come back expecting me to fit right back into plans that we once made? Plans that are now gone forever to return never ever. Like it sounds like Outcast. Don't you ever, 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 ever. I don't want you anymore. So get away from my door and let me live, live, live. Don't come messing up my life again. How can you have the courage and the nerve to come back now expecting me to love you after the way you've done me? Guess you think that I'm a fool, but you're the one that's blue. You're cool. I don't need you anymore. So get away from my door and let me live. Let me live. Okay. Now, those are the lyrics. You think what's that going to sound like, right? Like, what's that going to be? Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna find it for you. I am going to find it for you because this took me all the way out, and I'm like, I have to share because, and part of the reason why I have to share is I need to put this out there in the universe because I want this song on vinyl, and I need this vinyl to pop up in some thrift bookstore or something that I'm in, and so I need to say it aloud so that it leaves my lips to God's ears and I can get this vinyl. But y'all have to hear this. And what is it? Farron Young is the name of the artist. Okay, I gotta remember how to spell unmitigated. If you have a new favorite phrase that you like to use, put it in the chat. Do. Oh. Now, the whole album actually looks good to me as far as the rest of the Farron Young album that houses Unmitigated Gall. But I will only play a small portion of this song because, copyright. And the song came out in, yeah, I think I said 1967. So I'm sure they're still, I'm sure the estate is still checking for what's going on with Farron's estate. I know I would be. But nonetheless, here we go. Oh, okay, hold on. Here we go. This is for the purpose of education and all the things that are associated with fair use. We're not going to play too much of it. But this is Farron, y'all. He is not having it, okay? Yeah, feet. Yeah, feet. I love this song. One day when I'm walking out on me with a fast talking slob, you hardly knew his name. Your mind is deranged. He said you must have been out your mind. That's that's what Farron said. And where did you get the backbone and grit to come back now, expecting me to fit right back okay, into that's plans that we once made? Because I think that's my favorite part. Expected me to fit right back into plans that we once made. Like, girl, bye. You left that opportunity when you left me for that slob that you barely knew. Farron was not having any of it, and I am obsessed. And I am so glad that some random thought about audacity led me down this internet rabbit hole that led me to this song and discover this new music because I'm going to find this album and it will be added to my repertoire. It has to happen. It just has to. Now, this might be a search that I am always looking to add to my collection, but it's out there, and so I think it will find me. But that's kind of yeah what I was thinking in terms of self care. Now, hopefully, if my I'm gonna try to get myself set up real quick right now, Marlene, to show you what I wanted to show you, in the hopes that my everything doesn't freeze. And I am literally having a bead of like sweat dripping down my back. It was yeah, Farron was not here for the play. Okay, I that's why I have to hear the whole album because what else was you talking about, Farron? Like I can't wait till I find that vinyl. But yeah, Marlene, what's your weather like? Because it's hot here. So if it's this hot in Philly, I don't know what it's like in Florida. Ooh, child. Let me see if I have another. Ooh. All right, yeah, this is all right. I got my 87 degrees. All right, that's about where we're at right now. I think I'm at 80 right now. But because I love it hot all the time, I still haven't turned on the air, so literally the heat is on. Okay. So we're gonna go into the canvas. Well, first things first, let me see if I can pull this up. One tool I do use that this is the free version that I use to be able to cut out all of my ums and filler words, etc., without as much effort is called Descript. And let me see. I don't have a link for it, but I'm just gonna put the name of it in the chat. And on the chance that we saw each other, Marlene, I was like, let me get let me use this to our advantage, and let me see if there's something that I can try it with live. So I'm going to pull this up. Here we go. And I needed to try this with a particular video. So I'm like, well, I'll try it live here. So the first thing, I do is try it in Descript so that I can get the quickest amount of filler words out. And this is how easy it is. And like I said, I'm showing this because it's the free version. The free version just gives you a limited number of transcription minutes per month. So it's only 47. And some of these, like that's the thing I find is one of the hardest things in editing is editing out all the filler words. Oh, okay. This is interesting. I've never had to actually share all my files before, but that's fine. Because here's the file that we needed. um, and this will, oh, okay. Now, if I label my speaker, thank God. I don't know how I missed this the last time I used this. If I label my speaker, I should be able to also like dub it if like I messed up on a section. Not only can I take out filler words, I can change the words that are in there, and it'll use my voice. So this doesn't usually take that long. But because I wanted to now transcribe this 40-minute video. Oh, am I freezing now? Is that what's acting really bad and acting brand new? I hope it's not me. It looks fine on my end, but we'll see. But because, I just put this video, which was a live stream, it's used 40 minutes of it. So this one might take a while. Or did I get an error? Oh, yeah, it was acting brand new. That I blame StreamYard, though, because any other time, but I think it's because the difference between me choosing to share a window versus share a tab. And I shared the window this time, not the tab. And that's why I was sharing on my business. So good to know for the future. All right, so I'm going to back out of this because it's taking its sweet time transcribing it. And rightfully so. It's a 40-minute video. So, but then what would happen now that I know it's going to share on my business if I do that? Let me stop sharing the whole screen and go to share the tab I wanted to share. Okay, so then me and StreamYard are not, it does not like me today. And it wants to act up. Okay, here we go. Am I in the right place? I am not in the right place. Now I'm in the right place. Here we go. And share. Now we should be in the Canva. And oh, you know what? This isn't actually the one I wanted to share in Canva, though. Hold on. This was the thumbnail for the video that I put up. Now, I had this up because I redid the thumbnail. Previously, I had the let's say the title down here, and I had like this thing up here, etc. But then I gave it this whole, let's say, golden ratio effect. not exactly the golden ratio, but it's kind of like that. And that, and the things I had been watching about what graphic design, this is kind of what they were recommending on kind of how you look at where stuff is in your let me bring that forward. Where you look at stuff, how you look at where stuff is in your thumbnail. I'm gonna make this nautilus looking thing red for the sake of this demonstration. So they were saying it should be kind of like, hold on, how do I, there we go. Kind of like this. And like have the most information kind of like here at the top, and then it can like slow down. I don't know how best to describe that. This is the best image that I can give. So that's why I wanted to move this title up to the top, because according to the thing, that's kind of how I should be looking at it. I'm going to come back and maybe do a better description of that. But that's something to like test out with the thumbnails, right? About which one performs better and to like switch it up. Now, back to actually the video. I'll use this example of the video that I just posted today on what the editing looks like in Canva. Now, I had, watched, well, I had done it a little bit. I had a project that I had to do that I used a little bit of Canva editing in. But what led me to try it again was I had been watching some tutorial about how to use Canva to make like your lower thirds and stuff in iMovie. And then when I got ready to do that, I was like, well, that just seems like, why am I adding that extra step? Now, don't get me wrong. I still now have to add it to iMovie for some of the other things I want to add that I haven't figured out yet how to do in Canva. But it just, if I can add the lower thirds and stuff in Canva, why wouldn't I do that? So I just uploaded the video in via my uploads, and then dropped it in there. And then if you'll see at the bottom here, there's a thing that says duration. Let me zoom in. Oh, it's not going to zoom in on that part. It's going to zoom in on that part. Got it. Okay. How about this then? My computer. I know how this works. Okay. All right, now you should be able to see the duration part a little bit better. But yeah, if you click on the duration, now you can see the actual video thing. Now these are where I had to clip it up. Okay. So your lower thirds are, if you, let me pick something. The stuff, when you put stuff at the bottom here in the lower third of the screen. Let me zoom back out here. So when you put like a oh gosh, I don't know. Let me just news line. I just needed to give me a graphic to pop out. Yeah, I did not like that one. Oh, you know what? Let me do this. Let me search lower thirds, and then you'll see. Actually, it's going to give you sample graphics. Duh, Alicia. Um, so here we go. Here's one. All right. So if you want to put that in your video via Canva, you literally just can just pop it on here. And now if I want this to have, I'm going to put have a logo in here. Sorry for people who had to didn't ask to be in my video. All right, I wanted to have this logo in here, and I wanted to have some words. I don't like the size of that logo. Okay, and some words. And I want this part to be animated. So I'm going to animate it. And making sure I'm animating just the elements because I'm not trying to animate the whole page. And see, it's got the video behind it selected. So I'm just going to make sure it's selecting just these things. This is all I want to animate here, y'all. Okay, thank you. Now, we should be on the right thing to see some examples of what that's going to look like. Yeah, I like the white. That's what I was trying to go for, was the white. Now, I only wanted to do it on enter because when I say do it on both, that's why that other thing's happening. And it's still animating this page, and that's why the video is moving. I don't want you to do that. So I'm going to click on the video and say remove that animation because it's just seeing that as a photo. And now let me just see what this one thing should look like. All right, so I didn't like the order that came in, right? So let me make sure they're all together. Oh, they're not. They're not all white, and they're not all on enter. So let's try that again. Oh, and there we go.
Around the corner, and you know what that means. And by wait, hey Siri.
So I'm gonna look at that one more time. Did that wipe the way I wanted it? Now this is why I don't like editing. Like why I love it and I hate it because it takes so much time. I'm not gonna have to look at this again and again to is it the way I want it? But yeah, I would live that I would live with.
It's
Good
just
enough to
around the
ship. I would keep it and publish it. That's one way to add some lower thirds. And then the other thing I will note for editing in Canva is because you know how YouTube is with the copyrights and whatnot. And I don't know about, although Canva has music in it that you can put your own music and layer it onto right in Canva. I don't know about the copyright as far as the music in Canva. So because of that, I will go to the YouTube music library and pick my music from there, download it, and then upload it into Canva to add as the background music on my video so that I know for sure it's music that will not violate YouTube's community guidelines. So that was just a little very quick answer to, well, how do you use Canva to edit? And we can continue our conversation offline, but I was hoping that I would see you here in the stream with which to answer that. Um, yeah, I'm very intrigued about learning more about the making your own music. So maybe you can help me learn about that. And that can be a part of our exchange as our iron sharpens iron. But that's the stream here. I wanted to make sure I accomplished my day 52. And I don't know, I think one of the things I never did was show the finished Mind movie I did from a previous life. So I was like, oh, why don't I just exit with that? But you know what? That's another one that I don't know about the music. And if it's if it's copyright approved, so I can't show that until I find that one out. Um, so we'll have to come back to that one. As a matter of fact, where did I save that? Because I do not see that anywhere in my Canva, and I know I made it in my Canva. So yeah, more on that later. Oh, that's a good point. Well, one, I can't find it now though, so there's that. I need to That's why tip number 1 is to do my digital declutter, because my Canva is outrageous right now, and I don't know where anything of value is. So, I'm gonna clean up my life, and I got 4 weeks to do so. All right, thank you for coming out, and I'll just leave with my, new intro as my outro.